So stopped. So this is where we had stopped. Router. Yes. I want you all to mute yourself, everyone. Okay, router. Now, where does this router works on which network layer? Which layer of the OSI model? It works on the network layer of the OSI model. All the above network devices which we had studied, they all were providing connection within the network. They were providing connection within the network only. It was like how we would play house matches within the school. So all the house matches would be taken place within the school itself. Red house would play against blue, blue would play against yellow. So all the above network devices, repeater, your hub, bridge and switch, were providing network connectivity within the network. Router is an exception. Router provides connectivity between two different networks. So if one school is playing against another school, that is, match is being taken place between two different schools. So all the above networks which we had studied, like repeater, hub, bridge and switch, is like your IPL. Is like your IPL. All Indian teams are only playing against each other. Mumbai is playing against Hyderabad, Delhi is playing against Jaipur. Router is your World Cup, wherein India will play against Australia, New Zealand will play against England. So one network will be connected to another network. This is where router comes into the frame. So it works at which layer of the OSI model? Network layer device. It is an intelligent device. It's a very intelligent device because it finds and shortlists what route it the message will take from one node to another. So it is a very intelligent device. Repeater and hub were dumb device. Your bridge was semi-intelligent. Switch was intelligent. This is highly intelligent. Router is a highly intelligent device because it has to take the decision of what route the message will follow over the network. So it is intelligent device. Okay. Okay, router is normally used to connect WAN. Okay, why do we use the switch for? The switch is used to connect LANs, but the router is used to connect the WAN. So if the geographical area is greater, so if you want to provide networking through the entire state or entire large city, then we will call that as a wide area network. So to connect all the computers of the wide area network, we'll use a router. So it is used to connect WAN and it is internetworking. What is router? It is a internet. What is intranet and internet? What is inter-school and intra-school? Inter-school is one school playing another school. And what is intra-school? One house playing another house. So what is a router? It is an inter-network device used for connecting two devices. Used for connecting two networks. So see over here, one network, computers of one network, computers of another network, network 1, network 2. Who connects them together? The router. Now how do I know whether these computers are from different networks? So I have devised a small diagram. So see this. So the computers on my left hand side of the diagram are your network 1, which are computers of cities of Rajasthan. So this is machine Jaipur, machine Bikaner, machine Ajmer. So each machine has a unique IP address. So the IP address of Jaipur is 223.0.0.1, the first machine on this network. The first high order bits, the first octet of the IP address shows which network this machine belongs. So Rajasthan, the city from which I come, the registration numbers of the motorcycle start with 23. So my motorcycle number is RJ23. So in Maharashtra we have MH12, right? So these are in Pune, sorry, Pune is MH12, right? So these cities are on which network? The first octet, the 23.0.0.1 are 4 octets. The first octet 23 dictates which network this machine belongs to. So Jaipur belongs to which network? 23. The first machine 23.0.0.1 means the first machine on the 23rd network number 23. Bikaner is 23.0.0.2. Ajmer is 23.0.0.3. Pune is what? 12.0.0.1. Mumbai is 12.0.0.2 and Aurangabad is 12.0.0.3. So this is network 23, this is network 12. Router provides connectivity between two networks. Am I understood? So this is a separate network, this is a different network. So router always provides connectivity over two networks. Okay, so this was a sort of a rough diagram, and this is a more sort of in detail diagram which I had made. So let's come back to the, so it's a inter-networking device. What is a router? It is a inter-network, it connects network. Routers have dynamically updating so we have a routing table. So how does router route the data from one machine to another? It has a routing table. Okay, and in router every port is a broadcast domain. So if the message is sent to this port of the router, it is broadcasted to all the machine on this network. If a message is sent to this port of the router, it is broadcasted to all the machines on this network. So it is a broadcasting router. Every port is a broadcasting domain. Okay, router and switch, they look the same, but if you see, switch has lots of ports. So if you go upstairs, you will see switch has lots and lots of ports. You see over here, how many ports are there in the switch? 8 ports. So router, the hardware of the router, I'm saying, the what we buy from the shop, the device, the device, I'm talking of this device. So the router in its look and feel looks like a switch, but the difference is, in a switch there are lots of ports. In a switch there are, how many ports are there? 8 ports. Router will have only 2-3 ports. Router will have only 2-3 ports maximum, like a Wi-Fi router. So it says your router and switch look the same, but the number of ports are more in a switch, and the router has a very fast speed, up to 100 gigabytes per second. So 100 Gbps, the router can reach speed up to 100 Gbps. Very fast machine, intelligent and fast. Clear? Next is gateway. What is gateway? Gateway is an entry and exit point to a network. Like your, if you take example of Wadia College, the main gate of Wadia College is your gateway. Inside you have separate sub networks, like Naurozji Wadia is one network, Nes Wadia is one network, and other colleges. So the main gate through which you can enter the network is your gateway. Is a passage to connect two networks. It's an entry and exit point to the network. And they can operate at all 5 layers of the OSI model. All the last 5 layers of the OSI model. It is used to connect to independent networks. It can connect to independent networks. So if one network is working on one protocol and second network is connected on second protocol, so the gateway can transform the protocol. So what it does over here is accept packet formatted for one protocol and convert it to packet formatted for another protocol. So if one network is working on TCP/IP protocol and another network is working on AppleTalk protocol, so the gateway can do the translation of the protocol. So it is an intelligent device. It must adjust the data rate, size and data format. So if the packet is coming from one network where the data rate is different, the size of packet is different, and data format is different, and the another network understands the different data rate, different size, and different data format, the gateway will do the conversion. So if network 1 is, let's say, configured in English language and network 2 is configured in French, so what data, if network 1 is sending data to network 2, so the English to French conversion will be done by the gateway, so it will adjust it. So this is what is meant over here: accept the package formatted for one protocol and convert it to another protocol, and it is an entry and exit point to the network. These are your gateways. It is used to connect two independent networks. English is a different network and French is a different network. So it will connect two independent networks which are working on two different protocols. And it is more complex than switch or router. It is more complex than switch or router because it has to do all this. It has to adjust the data rate, adjust the size of the package, adjust the data format of the package so that it can be understood by the other network. Next is your network security device. Security is very important for the network, else hackers will come and hack your machines. So what we have to provide security is firewall. So firewall is your first line of defense. Is your first line of defense in a network is the firewall of that network. It isolates one network from another. What is happening in one network, the another network does not know what tasks are being taken place in that network. So if we are in Wadia College network, what is happening in Ferguson College network, we don't know because Ferguson has installed a firewall. So it is the firewall has isolated that network. So it isolates one network from another. Firewalls can be standalone system or they can be included in infrastructure device. You can have one entire machine as a firewall, or you can install the firewall in the routers or servers. So you can have a dedicated machine. You can have a dedicated machine which will act as a firewall, or you can install that firewall software in the router or servers. So the router will act as a firewall as well as a router. The server will act as a server as well as a firewall. So it's up to your configuration. So large networks, they have a dedicated firewall machine, and small networks, they will make the router act as a firewall also. You can find both hardware and software firewalls. You have devices also which act as a firewall, and you can make softwares which will check the incoming packet. If the incoming packet is of our network, it will allow. If the incoming packet is of not our network, it will not allow. So you can write software codes also to make firewalls, and you also have hardwares, dedicated hardware devices, like how we have a router, how we have a LAN cable, how we have bridge. Like this, you can also have a hardware for a firewall. It is primary purpose is separating two networks, okay. Now depending on the organization's policy, now each organization, each network has its own firewall policy, that policy dictates what packet they should accept and what packet they should reject. So the firewall may completely disallow some traffic. So if there's a policy that do not accept any packet from network 23, so whatever packet is coming from the IP address 23, it will not accept any packet from that IP address. So disallow or do not accept net packets having some particular data. So it's up to the policy, firewall policy, what policy they have formed. So they can completely disallow data coming from one machine or from one network, or they might see completely disallow or partially disallow. So they might completely disallow, no, do not receive any. So in the Pune, the Maharashtra networks which are starting IP address starting from 12, will completely disallow any packet coming from IP address 23, means Rajasthan. Any packet coming from Rajasthan, please don't accept it. So it might completely or partially. Okay, no, do not let's work with Rajasthan, but do not accept any package coming from Jaipur. So whatever packet is coming from 23, whatever package which is coming from 23.0.0.1, please disallow from this machine. So do not accept anything from 23, or do not accept anything from a particular individual machine. This is the decision of the firewall, what policy they make. So they can ban the entire network. This entire network is banned. This one single machine is banned. We will not receive any data from this single machine. So these are your firewall policies, which we have to devise. Okay? So, and there are two commonly firewall policies: whitelisting, blacklisting. What is whitelisting? Denies all connection except those listed. So if I give a checklist to my watchman, building watchman, please accept cars in the society, please accept buses in the society, but don't accept auto. Any auto rickshaw which is coming, reject. So what am I accepting? Cars is accept, bus accept, but auto rickshaw reject. So what this whitelisting says, denies all connection except for those which are acceptable. So it will deny, it focuses on denial. What does whitelisting focuses on? It will say do not take any auto rickshaw inside the society. This is the whitelisting. And what is blacklisting? Allow. It works on allowal. So I will say allow the bus. So the same information I will tell the security guard, do not take any auto inside. Or I can tell it in a different way. Please accept all the buses and all the cars. So have I mentioned over here auto? He will not accept auto. So it is focuses on allowal, who to allow inside the network. Whitelisting focuses on who to deny in the network. And now you have types of firewalls. First is packet filtering, second is stateful packet filtering, and third is proxy firewalls. Packet filtering firewalls is the most primary and most simple firewall. Most primary and most simple firewall is your packet filtering. What it does, it has a template. It has a template. It will compare the incoming packets with that template. If those packets fit the template, it will allow them. If it doesn't fit, it will reject them. Okay, like let's say now in the lockdown, the Pune police, they made an app, and you have to show them the ticket. You have to show them the ticket or the token which you have taken online. If the police sees the ticket or token, he will allow the vehicle. Okay, you can go and do your shopping. If he does not see the token or ticket, it will stop. Go back home. So what it does, it filters the packets against a standard set of rules. If that packet is following those rules, it will allow the packet. If it is not following the rules, that packet will be rejected. So the firewall will stop that packet from entering the network based on the rules. And the rules are based on what? What are the rules? Accept or deny packets coming from this IP address. Accept or deny packets coming from this port number. Accept or deny packets coming from this protocol. So reject all protocols having TCP protocol. So any packet which is having protocol TCP will be rejected. Any packet coming from IP address 23.0.0.1 will be rejected. Any packet coming from a specific port number 80 will be rejected. So these rules they make. They work at layer 3 and layer 4. Next is stateful packet filtering. So what was packet filtering doing? It was just checking for the rules. If you follow, you are allowed. If you don't follow, you are rejected. Stateful is a bit sophisticated. It uses some sophisticated approach. It is more complex than your packet filtering, it is an enhanced version of that. It checks these 4 parameters: the source address, the source port, destination address, destination port. So from the source machine, so let's say machine number 23.0.0.1 and port number 80, from which port that packet came from, port number 80, and that packet is going to machine number 12.0.1 and is going to port number 26. So it will check all these details and then only allow the packet, else no. So it deploys a dynamic technique to check the packets. This is not flexible. It is very rigid, very rigid. It does lots of filtration. So what happens with this lots of filtration? The architecture is more complex. And the speed becomes very slow of the network, because it does lot of filtration, lot of checking. So the speed becomes slow. It decreases the performance of the network. This proxy, what is proxy? Proxy is someone who acts on your behalf. So you all know what is the word proxy means, right? In the classroom, if you all are not present and still they've marked your attendance for that day, means someone was there who is acting on your behalf, whom had marked your attendance. So this IO proxy firewall, they work as the application layer, the topmost layer, means at the software layer. Okay. So it is deployed between the user. So you have the user and you have the network. Between the user and the network, we deploy the proxy. So the proxy acts on behalf of the user. So the server doesn't know actually who is it communicating with. The server doesn't know actually who it is communicating with. Okay, it is effective in shielding, and it helps in shielding the public network. It's all theoretical part, more or less. The main disadvantage, that so it is used, okay, because applications are shielded by the proxy and action taken. These firewalls are very effective. The advantage is these are very effective. The proxy firewalls are very effective, and they are used for very sensitive applications such as your user ID password authentication or your biometrics. In the IT companies, you enter your thumb impression to enter your login time. So such biometrics, or if you enter a banking domain wherein you have to enter your ID password, we'll use the proxy server. So these firewalls are very effective, but the disadvantage is they are very slow. So if the performance will degrade when you use a firewall. That's all guys, this chapter ends over here. इसको क्या समझ में आया अभी? Yes, you all can unmute now.
माशाअल्लाह, क्या पढ़ा है?
हाँ,
किससे?
कुछ समझ में आया है क्या?